Welcome to the Sage Thought Leadership Podcast. Financial professionals, let's move forward together.
Well, hi, everyone, and welcome to our podcast. I'm Ed Kless, and I am live at 90 Minds, Meeting of the Minds for 2024. My guest today is Gary Feldman. Gary is the CEO of iBusiness Network, as well as on the board of directors of 90 Minds. Welcome to the Sage Thought Leadership Podcast, Gary Feldman.
Thanks for having me.
So first off, Gary, why do you do what you do?
It's kind of interesting in that my wife was a social worker, and so she was always helping people. And I always explained to her that I help companies, right? So it's kind of like she's a do-gooder, and it's amazing that we have people like her in this world, and I just can't be that nice to people, so I just help companies.
And you did a session here at 90 Minds entitled How AI Will Supercharge ERP. Tell me about what, maybe the process of what you did to put that presentation together and what you learned.
So I'm always passionate about learning. I think learning is what keeps us young and alive and vibrant. And AI is coming, whether we like it or not, and whether we want it or we don't. It is something new and important and of salience to the members of our community. So I did a bunch of research in terms of trying to understand what it really is and what it really isn't. And then by attending conferences from multiple publishers and today learning more from Sage, tried to present how all these publishers are incorporating AI into our business management software and what that's going to do for our practices as consultants.
Was there anything that you learned that really surprised you?
Surprised. That's a good question that I didn't have any advanced preparation for. But so I would say the thing that surprised me the most was the vast amount of AI tools that are already on the market. There was that website, ai-search.io, that when I looked at it had over 13,000 AI-powered tools available for you, some for free, some for paid, but that could actually help people in their business or personal lives today.
Yeah. In fact, Aaron Harris at the conference that I previously was at mentioned a website called There's an AI for That, too, which probably the same kind of deal. So what do you think is going to be the effect of AI on ERP, both in the short term, talk short term first, let's say within the rest of 2024, and then beyond?
So even before I came here, I thought that the copilots and chatbots were going to be the first application of AI in ERP. And then today we learned, yesterday or 2 days ago, they announced Sage CoPilot, and they're here now, and they're going to turn the human voice into the interface with the computer, and that's only going to make it easier for customers to consume our products.
Mm-hmm. And that's, I think, certainly in the short term. I mean, we announced that it's going to be available, at least on our products in the UK, in 2024. But I guess the question I'm having is, based on the research you did, you think wholesale changes are coming to the ERP systems over the course of the next 3 years or so?
I think within 3 to 5 years there will be some massive shifts in the way that we either implement them, because we will use them as tools within our practice, but there will also be a lot more enhancement of existing automation processes that can be done today, but will be done better, less expensively, and faster using AI tools. So a couple of examples were the material requirements planning. We went from using pieces of paper and Post-it notes to spreadsheets to these advanced regression analysis tools, which have made them all more accurate. But now if you can take external data and mix it with the internal forecasts, usage patterns, and all that, you'll be able to get even more accurate predictions of how much inventory should I have on my shelf.
Mm-hmm. So you alluded to it a couple times during your presentation. There are some people that are worried that AI is going to take over the world. And I don't know if you came across in your research, I think it was a problem that was put forward to AI back in the 70s, I think, whereas if we put it in charge, it's going to start making paper clips until it destroys humanity by making as many paper clips as possible. Are you a doom and gloom, or are you we're going to advance here, we have to watch it, but we're going to be able to keep a handle on this?
Well, I wish I was as smart as some of the people who are prognosticating on this, but from what I researched, I believe that we're still a long ways away from having to worry about it. But, it will change our lives. It will change our lives for the better. And if we get serious about putting really smart people in the room to put the controls around it, then we'll be fine. But if we just let anybody do anything they want with it at any point in time, who knows what we'll create and how it will affect us.
Yeah. Did you play with it at all when you were developing the presentation?
Yeah, I tried playing with it in several ways. The easiest way to do it was with copilots. So I used the Microsoft Copilot to help me find a lot of the content that I used. I also started using the writing tools, and I thought that I might use Copilot to help me create the PowerPoint presentation, but I found that it did not yet get to that level of proficiency that made it worth my time. I think I said during the presentation that right now, that when people are building AI tools, they could probably do it faster with people without the tool and for less money, because writing the tool is taking so much time. But as we get better with it, and as those 13,000 tools become a little bit more sophisticated and point specific for what we're doing, I think that it's definitely going to make us more efficient.
And Gary, we have an exit question that we ask all of our guests, and that is, who is a hero of yours, and why are they a hero?
So I would say the person that influenced my career the most has no idea that he did it. When I was a young CPA and I knew how to use computers better than most of the older CPAs who didn't grow up with them, I was able to do a lot of internal consulting, and then that started me doing process improvement, which led me to where I am today. And when we merged with BDO Seidman at the time, BDO decided that I was too young and inexperienced to head up this practice anymore, and they brought in this guy from KPMG who really taught me how to be a consultant. And being a consultant is less about what you know than the questions that you ask and how you reflect that information back to the people to make sure you understood it. And I learned that it's never about me. It's always about someone else, whether it be the customer or my wife or my kids or my community. Mm-hmm. So with that knowledge, I was able to view things from multiple perspectives and become a 2-year-old and keep on asking why.
All right. Want to give him a shout out?
So his name was Mitch Habib. I have not seen him probably in more than that many years, and hopefully he's still doing well living in South Florida.
All right. And lastly, Gary, how can somebody contact you?
So probably the best way is email, gfeldman, Feldman, at i-bn.net, i-bn.net, gfeldman at i-bn.net.
All right. Gary Feldman, CEO of iBusiness Network, and also board member at 90 Minds. Thanks so much for being a guest on the Sage Thought Leadership Podcast.
And thanks for having me.
Review and subscribe by searching your podcast player of choice for Sage Thought Leadership Podcast.